Meeting to order. I am Rena Goldman, Vice Chair, and I will be leading tonight's meeting. We would like to begin. Today is Thursday, October 23rd, 2025. This is a meeting of the Rent Stabilization Commission for the City of West Hollywood. We would like to begin by acknowledging that the land on which we gather, currently known as the City of West Hollywood, is the occupied, unceded, seized territory of the Gabrielino Tongva and Gabrielino Cheech peoples. And I would like to ask Commissioner Bass to lead us in the pledge.
Thank you, Chair. If you can, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Secretary, may we please have a roll call?
Commissioner Bass?
Here.
Commissioner Copeland?
Here.
Commissioner Kirpies?
Here.
Commissioner McCafferty is absent. Commissioner Topchin?
Here.
Vice Chair Goldman?
Here.
And Chair Rory.
Here.
Thank you.
We have a quorum. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to review tonight's agenda?
I'll move to approve.
Second.
May we have a roll call?
Commissioner Bass?
Here. Excuse me, aye. That was the last vote.
Commissioner Copeland?
Aye.
Commissioner Kirpies?
Aye.
Commissioner Topchin?
Aye.
Vice Chair Goldman?
Aye.
And Chair Rory.
Aye.
Motion passes. Now, we'd like to take a look at the minutes. Has everybody had a chance to look over the minutes?
I will move them as presented. I'll
Second.
Go ahead.
Okay. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Bass?
Aye.
Commissioner Copeland?
Aye.
Commissioner Kirpies?
Aye.
Commissioner Topchin?
Aye.
Vice Chair Goldman?
Aye.
Chair Rory.
Aye.
The motion passes. Do we have any speakers from the public?
Not at this time.
All right, the next item is the manager report. Ms. Aviles, may we have the manager report, please?
Yes, good. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Good evening. Gloria Aviles, Acting Rent Stabilization Manager for the city. Tonight, we will be hearing an appeal for DCase 4670CD1. At our next meeting for November 13th, we'll be hearing the appeal for DCase 4987CD1, and staff will come forward with the Evaluation Guidelines Subcommittee update, the 2026 Sacramento Legislative Action Day for appointed officials, and a review of the 2026 RSC meeting dates. For our December 11th, we have an appeal for DCase 4930 on remand. That's it.
Do any commissioners have questions?
Can I ask one question? I guess is this is pretty set for how it's presented, and if so, that's fine. The discussions are both those nights are going to be hopefully very robust. I didn't know if it made sense to if it's even possible to do a night for those discussions, or do we want to package it with an appeal? If it has to be as presented, that's fine. But I was thinking those are meaty topics, 2 meaty presentations plus an appeal. It's like 3 items that are very meaty in a row.
For the evaluation guideline is just an update. It's not a staff report that's going to be presented, so it's just
It's from the subcommittee?
Yes, from the subcommittee.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, then that makes more sense.
The legislative day is not going to be huge. It's just asking which of the commissioners wants to be appointed for this legislative day. And the RSC meetings is
We'll
just
be
going over the
updating.
calendar.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, then that's more, I misunderstood the substance there. Thank you for
Yeah,
clarifying that.
you're welcome.
Any other questions from? Okay. All right, we are now at the appeals portion of the agenda. We have one appeal before the commission this evening, D-4670CD1. Do we have a representative for the tenant and the landlord?
The landlord, who's the appellant, did not confirm, and we have the tenant here.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so first we will hear a staff report from our legal counsel, and since the appellant's not here, we won't hear from the appellant, but we'll, I guess then we'll hear from the respondent. Is that, Secretary, is that correct?
Correct.
Correct, thank you. Okay. So the respondent will speak second, in this case first. You will have one 5-minute segment to state your case on the appeal subject. When it's time for you to speak, please state your name and city of residence for the record. The appellant will state how you would like to divide your time, if at all, and proceed with your comments. Since your speaking time is limited, it's very important to keep the following things in mind. Keep on topic. The only information you share should come from the appeal topic. And new evidence cannot be considered by the commission. You may only discuss issues that were raised at the hearing or evidence submitted to the hearing examiner. Legal counsel, may we have the staff report?
You sure can. Good evening, commissioners. My name is Kellen Martz, Rent Stabilization Legal Counsel. Tonight we are hearing D-4670CD1 for the audience. CD is compliance determination. This appeal stems from a compliance determination decision from August of 2025. The original decision involved a number of items, but for your appeal tonight are only 3 items: the thresholds between the kitchen and adjoining rooms, the thresholds on the floor, the unit heater, and roof tiles. The tenant has lived in this unit since 1974-75, before cityhood, so the paperwork is a little obscure, hence the unknown date there. The tenant filed for a rent decrease in April of 2022, and the landlord subsequently filed a compliance determination request with the city in 2025. I've provided a summary of the issues: the kitchen floors, the unit heater, and the roof tiles in your staff report. Briefly, the issues were that the tile floors were loose and could be lifted by hand, and that repairs were not made despite requests. The unit heater was approximately 50 years old, took hours to heat up, did not work correctly, and that it cost an excessive amount of money to actually heat when it did work, and that the roof tiles over the front door were breaking off and falling for approximately 2 years before the hearing. A decision was issued, like I said, in 2022. A rent decrease for the relevant issues is kitchen floors, $30, unit heater, $70, put an asterisk by that, and roof tiles, $35. A work performed notice was sent to the landlord. The compliance determination did have a hearing in this case. An inspection was also conducted by city staff at the request of the hearing examiner. And then in July of this year, a hearing was held. Both parties appeared, and a decision was issued in August of 2025. In this case, the 3 items were denied for the compliance determination: the kitchen floors threshold, the unit heater, and the roof tiles. And the hearing examiner found that they had not substantially complied with the order, and except as to the kitchen floor. So that was a $30 rent decrease. The hearing examiner found that that had partially been repaired, but the thresholds, which are the kind of adjoining space between rooms, usually it's a small little metal piece or whatnot, had been filled with concrete, and so there were issues with that because it did not conform with what was in place prior. And so only a partial rent restoration was given for that matter. The landlord timely filed an appeal for this matter. arguing that the decision is not reasonably supported by the findings or evidence in the record. Staff was unable to fully understand the appeal. It's in front of you in your packets, but they did argue in their compliance determination that they had fixed all the issues. Staff was unable to determine in their appeal if they're saying that they had fixed them prior to or after the hearing examiner's compliance determination decision came out. Regardless, there was not any information, receipts, invoices, or letters from contractors as required by our regulations to show that those items were fixed. And so based on that, staff believes there is substantial evidence in the record to support the hearing examiner's conclusion and decision in the compliance determination decision, and staff recommends affirming that decision tonight. That concludes my report, and I'm available for questions.
Thank you. And before we have questions, we have a couple commissioner disclosures, so I'm going to let them do that at this time. So Commissioner Copeland and Commissioner Kirby.
Thank you, Chair. I just wanted to mention that I am casually acquainted with the tenant in this matter as a neighbor, but certainly that won't impact my decision one way or the other. Thank you, Chair.
Excuse me. Thank you, Chair. I wanted to also state the same, that we're acquaintances, other than a brief, we haven't communicated for several years, but it won't interfere with my judgment this evening.
Okay, thank you both. And do we have any questions for council?
Yes. Good evening. There is an invoice in the packet dated February 28, 2025, which mentions the kitchen tiles, flooring. I mean, was this the invoice relevant to the?
Do you have a page number?
The page.
Please.
Okay, let me see. The page 53 of the packet. I think it's a packet, yeah.
Is this, while I'm searching for it, the invoice that was a broad invoice of several $1,000s?
Yeah, the invoice, it says deposit $5,000, but
Okay.
it mentions.
So the hearing examiner in his compliance determination decision concluded that that was a pre-invoice, and so it didn't actually conclude what work had been done. It was just an estimate of the work to be done, and so found that that was not an actual receipt or proof that the work had been done. It was, this is our estimate of what the work will cost, and nothing was subsequently provided beyond that document. And so that staff concurs with that conclusion. And then in their appeal, again, we can't totally understand if they're just saying, yes, we did the work originally, or if we've done it subsequently. But there was, again, if they had done it afterward, even though it would be incorrect to file an appeal on that, they would do another compliance determination. That lack of invoice or receipt, again, just kind of goes to the confusion of what was done. And so there just wasn't enough in the record for staff to see anything different than the hearing examiner did.
Okay, thank you for clarifying. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? No? Okay. Since we don't have the appellant, Ms. Secretary, do we just allow the respondent to speak?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so then at this time, we would like to call the respondent to come and speak. And please state your name and city of residence.
My name is Britt Sands in the city of West Hollywood. So I'll make this really quick. Here are the pictures of what they were supposed to do. I took these 2 days ago. The roof was not.
We are not able to take anything that is new evidence, so we just have to work with what's there. So just to let you know, so speak
But
on.
then how do you know that? Because it shows that they didn't do the roof.
Right. Well, we have to consider the evidence that's in our that was part of what the hearing examiner reviewed.
Oh, so
Vice Chair, if I may.
Yes, thank you.
Sure. So The purpose of tonight is the landlord filed an appeal saying they did do the work. The record is a closed record, and so anything that happened after the date of the hearing, which was this summer, is after the fact, so it wouldn't be considered. So what we're looking at is...
But they didn't do anything.
I would know, I understand that's your position. I'm just
Okay.
trying to help you explain to the commission what you can and can't talk about. So you want to speak to the fact that they didn't do the work, if that's your position,
Right.
but not from 2 days ago. It should be what originally was the issue.
No, they didn't do it then.
Correct. So that's what you should be speaking about
Okay.
is originally up through the date of the hearing.
Okay.
And that nothing has been done since, if that is your position. But
Okay.
not with new photos. Anything else, you're free to
Well,
speak
can
about.
somebody come there, they could see for himself, because they think I could be lying, but I have the proof.
So the purpose, the landlord is trying to ask for the rent to be restored back to what it was, right? The goal tonight is for the commission to determine whether the decision where the hearing examiner agreed with you that the work was not done, landlord has appealed that and said that's wrong. And so their job tonight is to look at that appeal and say, did the hearing examiner make the right decision or the wrong decision? And so the purpose of your time here is to state your position of the original hearing and the fact that the work was not done
Okay,
up through that summer hearing date, not now.
okay, the work was not done.
So if it might help, we are considering the kitchen floor thresholds, the unit heater and roof tiles. So if you want to talk about those
Well,
items.
the threshold, they had put cement on half of it, which doesn't even make sense. And then they were going to leave it that way, and I said, no, you have to put the threshold on. But because this is a 1927 building, I've been there a long time, I actually know how to do it. And I told him, all you have to do is take the original threshold up, and then you put a piece of wood underneath it, and then reattach the threshold. But they didn't listen to me. It was not done. And the tile for the roof is the wrong tile that they put on the top. And it's my tile that I had laying over there. The original tile that's supposed to be up there, I gave him, he took a photo of it, and nothing was ever put on. And in the photo, even before, you could see all the tiles crooked. So, and then the heater, the thermostat doesn't work correctly. That's it.
Okay, before you leave, I'm going to ask if commissioners have any questions. Yes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. So Vice Chair, I have a question. Good evening, ma'am. Can you clarify to me, I want to understand the threshold was removed, the original, what was there during the flooring, the
No,
work?
it wasn't removed.
So it was there, whatever the original was?
The original was there. They just, I have no idea why, when they put the floor down, they put cement on half of it. So I don't understand that. I have a picture, I think there's a picture in before, but I don't
Yeah.
understand that. And then they bought a small threshold,
Okay, on the top of it?
yes, and that, I tripped over it 3 times. You don't put a threshold over another threshold.
So it kind of lifts it. It's higher
Yeah.
and it's a hazardous.
It is.
Okay.
I mean, anybody could come and take pictures, so.
All right, thank you.
And Commissioner, I believe that is page 85 of our packet. You can page 85, you can see the picture. Do we have any other questions? Commissioner Copeland.
Thank you, Chair. Hi, yes, ma'am, if you don't mind. So just to clarify, what was there before the original, they were wood thresholds all the way across, correct?
Right.
And all of this was put on top of those, or those were removed?
It was never removed
Okay,
in the kitchen. They put, half of it, they put cement on it. I don't understand why.
okay,
But what they should have done is removed it, put a piece of board. When they fixed the floor, it would have been put on and it would be right up against the floor, so it wouldn't be high.
I see.
I mean, who puts a threshold on a threshold?
Okay,
And it's half the size. It's this big. So,
okay. I think I have another question for you. Perhaps I should check with staff first, just to clarify the
Yes.
production amount.
If I may, when I said to put an asterisk on the $70 unit heater, Commissioner Copeland had a great question earlier this week about the value. The original decision noted two different numbers, 70 and 105, and we did reach out to the tenant. The tenant confirmed that it was 70. Is that correct? Yes.
it says
We did
in-
get a response late this afternoon that it was 70. However, that was a question because there are two different numbers in your packet, so we can discuss it more in deliberation.
Yeah, I understand that might be for a resolution or a future compliance determination, but I just wanted to find out because it mentioned a 329 total, which included 105 for the heater.
Right.
And then later, they were asking for 70 for restoration. So since there were two different figures in the original hearing examiner's determination, I just wanted to make sure which one of those was.
It says it in the original hearing, what he allowed the
If we could do
Mr.
the
Seltzer.
microphone, if we could.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry. It just, on one page, he gave a total of 329 and listed the individual items on page 32 of our
Right,
packet.
right.
And it said 105. And then later on 35, it says restoration $70 when the heater's replaced. So there were two different figures. And that was just my confusion as to, I mean, it's something that may not even be relevant tonight, but maybe something that would need to be clarified later since it's in the record as two different, if legal agrees with that, so.
Yeah, I think for deliberations,
We can-
after questions, we can.
After questions, we can worry about it.
Briefly touch on it.
Okay, and the heater, the thermostat had to be like turned way up to 80 to get it to even
Yeah,
cut
to
on
get
and
it to
work.
heat.
Okay.
But it just doesn't work properly. It just needs a new thermostat.
Okay, so those three items you're saying are still, they were not resolved by the time that the hearing
No.
examiner made the compliance
No, and
determination? Okay,
I mean, I've tripped over it twice. My girlfriend tripped over it once because it's high, you know.
okay. Thank you very much. That's all for me, Chair. Appreciate it. Thank you, Mr. Martz.
And Commissioner Topchin?
Thank you. Going back to my question regarding the threshold, these are the pictures, right? So you kind of see it, recognize?
I can't see it from there.
Okay. The rooms are connected. These are between, it's between the kitchen and
The dining room.
the dining room. Okay.
And I bought that threshold a long time ago and had it put down there.
Okay.
It's
And
oak. Yeah.
This wasn't like this, right? Because I see the floor is higher now.
Yes. It's 2 inches higher, so they really didn't know how to do it. And I told them. And anyway, they bought another threshold to put on the threshold to cover up the cement. And it's too dangerous.
Was this always higher?
No.
It's always even?
Yeah, it's a threshold that goes right on top
Okay.
of it,
Okay.
and it slides down.
And thank you. The other question, were you present during the inspection that was conducted on
Yes.
June 23rd? 24th?
Yes.
Was this brought up
Well,
during
she
the
took
inspection?
pictures and everything, and I disagreed with her, too. Like, well, we didn't talk about the threshold.
You
I
didn't
don't-
talk about it?
No.
Can I ask you why?
No,
Because
I
this
mean,
seems
she-
like a serious
Well,
thing.
she came in and she was taking pictures all over, and I showed her. I don't know if she took a picture of it, but this has nothing to do with this appeal, but,
No, if it doesn't have to do with the appeal.
okay,
you don't
well,
need-
when she came and my steps have to be rebuilt, she, in the report, said there were some new steps. And I took pictures of every step, and you could see the cracks going across those steps. So they're not new, and the stairway is being torn away from the wall. It already fell last year.
Right, but I want to focus on the
Okay, so I just
threshold.
want to say that. So it wasn't accurate, and some of the pictures that they took, you can't even see. It's
Right,
so
so my
dark.
question is going back to that. So this was not addressed with the inspector at the time of the inspection.
Does it say it on the thing?
I'm asking you if you asked
I
the
don't
question.
even remember anymore.
Okay, all right, thank you. Nothing.
I'm sure I showed her the cement.
Okay, any further questions from commissioners? Okay, thank you.
Okay. Do I have to remain for the what?
You can remain, or you can leave.
And what
It's-
happens after this? I mean,
The commission is going to deliberate now.
oh, okay, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we would now like to begin commission deliberation.
I'm with the management company.
Oh, do we have public speaker, or?
No,
This is the
I think
appellant.
that's-
This-
Are you
are you
representing
the-
the landlord?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll have to do this a little bit differently. So landlord will be able to speak, and then there will be a short rebuttal since we've already had a pre-rebuttal. I know that's not a thing, but it's what we're going to call it. So usually it's landlord because the landlord filed the appeal, then the tenant, then the landlord has a rebuttal. So the landlord will be able to give their time, they'll divide it, and then instead of having a full 5 minutes, the tenant will just have an abbreviated period. I don't think we timed that, did we?
We did. The tenant has about 3 minutes and a half.
Okay, perfect. Then we will use 3.5 minutes for the time instead of the 5.
Okay, you may come up and please state your name and city of residence, and you'll have 5 minutes, and you can choose to divide that time or use it all at once.
Okay, I'm Roxana Martinez and Santa Monica, City of Santa Monica.
Okay, and would you like to divide your time, and how would you like to?
I just want to say a few things. We did fix the thresholds. I guess they are not up to her standards. She doesn't like how they came out. I also want to mention that we did fix the tiles. Every time I send the vendors to work on the steps, she says that she doesn't allow people, even though it's outside of the unit, she doesn't allow the vendors to work. There's times that we have posted notices. Even last week, I posted a notice to enter on her unit on Monday, and she doesn't allow access, so she doesn't let us work. I understand this was, the thresholds were fixed after the first hearing, but just wanted to mention that we did fix them. And then I know we had something about the peeling floors in the kitchen. Those were replaced since the first hearing, and there's pictures of that too.
Are you?
Yeah, I'm done.
You're complete. Okay, at this time I'm going to ask if commissioners have questions for you. Commissioner Bass?
Yes, thank you. So you mentioned that the thresholds were fixed after the hearing.
Yes.
That was
after.
the hearing earlier this year?
Say that again?
That was the hearing earlier this year?
Yes,
Okay.
after.
And then the next question for you, you said that the tiles on the roof were fixed.
Yes.
When was that done?
After a hearing as well. Because
Okay.
we did get a list of things that we still needed to fix, and we try to fix those things, but again,
Okay.
she won't allow us to enter the unit or even work outside the unit.
Thank you. And then you didn't mention the heater. Do you have anything to say about that? since you have time?
About the heater, we did talk to her and explain that this is we did replace the heater, but I guess the issue is with the thermostat. And she agreed that I talked to her over the phone and she said it's fine. I'll explain to them that we just have to put it all the way up for it to start actually, but the heater was replaced
And that conversation happened before or after the hearing?
after the hearing.
Thank you.
Commissioner Dobson?
Yes, hi, thank you. Good evening, Ms. Martinez. So,
Good evening.
you mentioned that you are the property manager, right?
Yes.
You personally visited the unit to inspect the repairs?
Well, there's times that I've tried to, but she won't allow us to go inside. So what she did is she sent me the picture. She's like, I can show you, but I can't go inside the unit. Even though I post a legal 24-hour notice, she won't allow us to go inside the unit. I think I've been inside the unit only 2 times, 3 times.
So after the work that was done to the unit, you have not personally observed, visited to see what was done?
No, so I have pictures of the thresholds. The vendor sent me a picture for the tiles that were fixed, and then that's it.
So since you mentioned in your testimony that the threshold was fixed, do you have pictures so that the pictures are provided in our packet? Is there a packet over there? I wonder if this photograph looks familiar to you?
There's a packet at the
I
podium.
can't really see,
Okay.
but we did fix. I have some new ones if you like to see.
Yeah, I
I
don't
heard that
think we
you're not
can-
taking new pictures, but I have some.
Right. Unfortunately, the Vice Chair already said we cannot accept any new evidence. So what I'm trying to understand is that there is no dispute that the threshold there was some work done on the threshold, whether it's fixed or not, but there was some work done. But apparently, it's not to the point that the tenant is satisfied with it, and it seems like there is could be even a hazard there. So when you say the threshold was fixed, I wonder when it was fixed last time, and is it fixed? Was it fixed after the compliance hearing?
Yes, I believe it was September 2nd. I have a few messages between me and her, September 2nd, 4th, around that time. But it was after the hearing for sure.
It was after the hearing and it was after the inspection that was conducted in June. So I'm trying to understand if it's fixed as we speak today.
Yes.
And it's no longer a hazard. Is it higher than it's supposed to be? So that's what I'm trying to understand.
I have pictures. I know she was talking about the cement. We removed that and we put something different.
Okay.
But I haven't personally seen them, so I can't really lie and say, yes, I've seen it, because she hasn't allowed me to go inside the unit. She did send me pictures, and that's what I have.
So the cement park was removed and replaced with something else?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
Do we have any other commissioner questions?
Chair Goldman, I do have a clarification question for Ms. Martinez. Can you repeat the city of your residency?
I'm in between Santa Monica and Panorama City.
Okay.
Yeah.
So which city would it be? Just
I guess,
just for the record.
let's say Panorama City.
Panorama?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Okay, so if your testimony is complete, so at this time, we can have the rebuttal from the tenant. And Secretary, how much time do we have?
3 minutes and 30 seconds.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
The threshold was not fixed. I've tripped over it twice. You can't accept new pictures. As far as they could say, you don't put cement on there and then you get a threshold, you put on another threshold. 2, the roof is not fixed, and the new pictures I took, you could see them hanging down. And not only that, but the part that's supposed to be there, I have a picture of that part. I showed it to the guy. They never bought it. They put a tile that I already had there. That's that. And as far as the heater goes, it's the thermostat. I'm finished. I mean, it's like I go over this and over this with them, and when she said, oh, she doesn't let me in the house, I'm going through, I may have spine surgery. I am having hip surgery. I have to go for laser. They overwhelm me when we have to do everything at once. Well, you can't, I said. You have to do it room by room. We can't do that. They're going to have to do that because I have all my medical records with me. I cannot handle it the way they're doing it. Paint all over the place. I'm the one who's supposed to clean it up, and my girlfriends help me, but I can't do it anymore. It's too debilitating, and I have every record you need. I've just had all my nerves burnt in my back because I couldn't walk, but I need spine surgery. But right now I'm getting hip surgery. It's like they're driving me crazy. They don't know how to do it, and the reason I don't let them in is I'm too exhausted arguing with them, showing them, and they don't listen. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, it's your fault. Oh, we painted. It was already there. It wasn't. When they painted my kitchen, there are drips all over the place, and they go, well, it was already there. And I said, no, the paint is white. My kitchen wasn't white. I don't have to say anymore. I'm too tired. I'm too fed up. It just goes on and on. If they would just work with me. Right now, I'm having surgeries, and that's all I care about. They want to take me to court, let them. I don't have the strength anymore to pack things and put it over there. I was helping those guys carry things. I was an idiot to do so. My girlfriend told me. But my back, my hip, what can I say? I'm going for laser on my eyes. That's all I have to say. I'm too tired. It doesn't make sense. They say the same thing over and over, and they don't have vendors.
Vice
They
Chair,
have.
sorry to interrupt you. We've got to
No,
stick just on those topics. So I would say if there's nothing else from the tenant, I don't want to end your time, but some of these things are outside the scope of the appeal tonight.
That's fine. I'm just too tired. I mean, I'm going to be 80. I don't need this. So either they work with me.
All right, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is,
That's fine.
okay.
And then, Vice Chair, I would say just a short rebuttal. If the landlord's representative wants to make a rebuttal, you don't have to. If there's anything further you'd like to add.
Okay. Thank you, counsel. Would anybody like to start?
Sorry, Vice Chair, this is one more thing. Sorry to interrupt. We
That's
should
okay.
ask for public comment just to check.
Okay. Ms. Secretary, do we have any public comment?
Not at this time.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Would any of the commissioners, anybody want to start deliberations? Yeah, okay. Commissioner Bass.
Thank you, Vice Chair. So everybody, both the parties know, and anybody who's watching, our role tonight is to look at the record that the hearing examiner had before them when they made this decision and determine if a reasonable person could have made that decision. It's not to reweigh the evidence. It's not to hear new evidence. It's as of the date of the hearing, and all the evidence the hearing examiner had in front of them, did they make a reasonable decision? And I've heard a lot of stuff that's happened since the hearing examiner held that hearing, but none of that really matters because it's what happened as of that day. And so as I look at the record, I agree with staff entirely and believe that there might be a case for the landlord to file an additional compliance determination and weigh these additional issues with a hearing examiner. But based on what the previous hearing examiner reviewed, it all seems like a reasonable person could have made that decision. So I support staff's recommendation, and I'm interested in my colleagues' thoughts.
Thank you. I'll come over here. Commissioner Copeland.
Thank you, Chair. I agree with Commissioner Bass. I think if there has been a change in any of this evidence or any of these repairs since the compliance determination hearing, that's new evidence that we can't look at here, but certainly the landlord could apply for another compliance determination and inspection and go from there. But not here tonight. We can't look at new evidence. I think the evidence in the record was enough for the examiner to make that decision. I agree. So I do agree with that. And I may have something else later, but that's it right now. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. I think I saw Commissioner Topchin.
Thank you, Chair. So since the things that we can review tonight, the documentation, the evidence, to me, were inconclusive to determine that the work was performed completely as the hearing examiner ordered. So because there was inconclusive evidence and only one, that invoice that the legal counsel clarified earlier tonight, it didn't establish that the work was performed completely to satisfy the examiner's order. So, and plus, we heard very contradictory testimonies by the tenant and the landlord, so I'm not convinced at this point that the work was completed and done the way it was ordered, the repairs. So, therefore, I'm going to support the staff's recommendation. I agree with the fellow commissioners who suggested that if the work was done after that compliance determination hearing, so then you can file a new compliance request for a new compliance determination, and to demonstrate in a better way with all necessary documentary evidence that the work was performed and the issues were resolved. Other than that, my hands are tied, and I'm going to support staff's recommendation. Thank you.
Thank you. Commissioner Kerpes?
Thank you. Yes, I came here this evening after reading the case, coming to the same conclusion that staff came to, that there was adequate evidence in the case to determine that these 3 items had not been completed. The hearing examiner did not err. And then I heard nothing that even came close to changing my mind on that. In fact, what I heard was an admission when Commissioner Bass asked the landlord's representative, so the kitchen floor threshold, that was fixed after. Yes, after the hearing. The unit heater, that was replaced after the hearing. Yes, that was replaced after the hearing. Roof tiles, yeah, after the hearing. So I don't know why there's any question here. To me, that resolves it, and so I'll be affirming the hearing examiner's decision based upon the reasons that, as Commissioner Bass explained fully in his comments.
Thank you. And Chair Rory?
I would vote to affirm or support a motion to affirm, and I appreciate that the landlord's representative came out tonight and at least gave their side of the story, and arguably said some of the work has been done. It's kind of unclear to me really whether it's been done or not, but on the core issue, it's what happened by the time of the hearing. It hadn't been done, so I would vote to affirm the decision and staff's recommendation, or support a motion.
Thank you. And yeah, I agree with my colleagues, especially after hearing the testimony. So I am also prepared to affirm. Would anybody like to make a motion?
Question.
Oh.
I have a question first, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Sure. For Mr. Martz. If we do adopt the resolution, is there a way for us to add to that resolution that if and when there is a compliance determination, that this matter of the discrepancy between the price for that restoration could be resolved?
Yeah, I think that is appropriate if there's support.
If there's support from the...
Yeah, I don't think we should do it in the resolution that the commission decides, but if there's another one, that can be reviewed by the hearing officer at that time.
Okay, all right, thank you. That's it for me, Chair, thank you.
What does that mean?
Does the mayor would just read the recommendation as, I mean, the resolution as is presented in the report, Mr. Martz?
It depends which motion you're making. If there's support for Commissioner Copeland's comment, we would add a line into the resolution, so it'd be the draft resolution as amended, but why don't you take a straw poll and see?
Commissioner Copeland, did you want to make that, or were you satisfied with council's suggestion that it be handled at the next compliance determination?
Oh, I think somehow it needs to be brought up so that there is a determination made. So is there a different way to do that, or?
No, I think Commissioner Copeland's recommendation is that the resolution be amended to say that if there is a future compliance determination, the commission recommends that the hearing examiner also review the discrepancy in the heater
Original
value.
hearing, right, yes.
Okay, and your response was you're okay with that idea?
Yes, my suggestion was to do that and not to have you guys and gals do that
No,
tonight
not for
yourself.
us, but for
to
future
decide
hearings.
which one was the right number, to leave it up to a hearing examiner in the future.
Right, that's what I intended as well. So I'd be, if
Yeah, do you
everybody's
wanna-
amenable to that, I'd be willing to make a motion to adopt the resolution with that additional,
Second.
if there's,
I'll second it. Second.
So we have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion, or? Yeah, okay. May we have a roll call, please?
Commissioner Bass?
Aye.
Commissioner Copeland,
Aye.
Commissioner Kirpies,
Aye.
Commissioner Topchin,
Aye.
Chair Goldman,
Aye.
and Vice Chair Rory.
Aye.
The motion passes. If the parties have any further questions, you can reach out to the Rent Stabilization Division at 323-848-6450 or by email at rsd@weho.org, or you may request an in-person appointment online at weho.org under the Services menu. Okay, do we have any, we don't have any new business, and we don't have any unfinished business. Do we have items from staff?
Yes, I just wanted to provide you for the quarterly report on the evictions, both from what we've received in the office as well as what Betsedic will be reporting for this period. This would be, the period would be July 1st, 2025 through September 30th, 2025. Betsedic reported to 9 cases within that period where they would eventually represent in court. 1 case was closed. 8 cases remain open. As far as what we received, notices regarding either 3-day for non-payment or 3-day to cure covenant and the summons and complaint, the quarterly number for the 3-day for non-payment was 207 notices that we received. The 3-day to cure covenant was 37, and we received 60 summons and complaints. The other thing I wanted to also mention to the commission is that our previous commission secretary, Brandon Thornton, was promoted to another division, so she will no longer be our commission secretary, and we were very grateful for her service and wish her well in her new position. And I think that's all the items I have for tonight.
Thank you. Any questions from commissioners?
Thank you, Chair. Just a very quick one. Ms. Aviles, the report from Betsedic on the number of these eviction cases, et cetera, this both RSO and non-RSO units, or these are specifically RSO units?
We didn't get the distinction between one or the other.
Okay. And the services under the current contract with Betsedic, that does it doesn't differentiate whether it's an RSO or non-RSO, as long as it's a West Hollywood resident. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, thank you.
I did have a follow-up on the 207 number. That's the 3-day pay or quit number?
Right, those are normally for your non-payment of rent notices.
And it was 207, you said, for
207
for Q3 of this year.
Correct.
Do you remember what Q2 and Q1 were, and can you just say, is this roughly consistent if you don't remember the exact numbers? But I'm just curious if that 207 is an uptick or if it's kind of consistent with Q2.
I do have the numbers for both of those previous quarters. 151 was for the first quarter, 187 for the second quarter. So we do seem to see an increase. It's about a 30-point increase.
And was it similar for the other 3-day cure and the summons?
The summons is kind of staying around the same numbers. The 3-day to cure, we had 7 on the first quarter, 26 in the second quarter, and 37 in the third quarter.
Okay. And the summons is roughly the same, or in range? Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other commissioner questions? Commissioner Kirpies.
Just another follow-up question to that. Of the 60 summonses, those are, were there summons to court because of an eviction, right? Or potential eviction?
Right, the summons is unlawful detainers.
Okay.
Correct.
And so do we reach out to those folks when we get notification to inform them of the services that the city has? Or it just seems like with 9 out of 60,
yeah, we do send letters for these notices that come in, just letting them know that there are services available for them free of charge, and refer them to Betsedic Legal Services. Just because they go to Betsedic doesn't necessarily mean that they're being represented. Mm-hmm. What Betsedic is reporting is what they're representing in numbers.
Okay. And 60 doesn't mean that 60 people were actually lost their homes either, right?
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Okay. Do we have any speakers from the public at this time?
We do not.
Okay, thank you. All right, any items from commissioners? Commissioner Bass?
Yeah, I have three things. One, I would like to congratulate Brandy Thornton. This is the second secretary since I've been on this commission to be promoted from that position, and I'm very proud of the staff that we have on supporting this commission, so congratulations to Brandy. Also, congratulations to our vice chair. This is a very difficult commission to chair, so congratulations on chairing your first meeting. You did an exceptional job considering even had a couple curveballs thrown at you. And then finally, I know that our vice chair will mention this during the adjournment, but I do want to acknowledge Anwar, the former West Hollywood rent stabilization employee. As a resident, I filed for a couple of appeals, or excuse me, a couple of hearings for my unit. And Anwar was so incredibly helpful as a resident, and so just an incredible loss, and my heartfelt sympathy to everybody on the Rent Stabilization Commission, or excuse me, Rent Stabilization staff and West Hollywood staff that are mourning him, as well as his family and friends.
Thank you. Any other items from commissioners? Yep.
I was just going to echo, great job tonight.
Oh, your mic.
Great job tonight. Echo those sentiments. And for those listening at home, I wasn't sure if I was going to make the meeting tonight, so I took the precaution and asked my vice chair to step in, and she did an awesome job. So thank you for that. My second thing was something that's come up from the Civics Academy that I've been trying to attend the weekly meetings on. We had a meeting a couple weeks ago from the code compliance division of the city, and it was fantastic. It's part of public safety. And one of the things they mentioned in their presentation, they just touched on it, but I didn't know, and I wanted to bring it forward here, was there is a multi-year process for code compliance to go to all multifamily dwellings in the city and do code compliance inspections. And they've started on the east side of the city, and they're working their way. They're currently mid-city, and they're going to go to the west end, and then they're going to restart it. So my thought was, if it was possible, as part of kind of the evictions quarterly update that you've been giving, if there's some way to let the public know where that code compliance group is currently at, or is there something we could do for this commission to let folks know, hey, they're on Sweetser and they're coming over to Kings and they're marching their way west, and maybe if it made sense to get a sense of what the division is finding most commonly, especially as it affects RSO units. I mean, multifamily units, I gotta think a majority of those are RSOs, so it'd be interesting to have the feedback of our own city department doing this multi-pronged process and let this commission know perhaps a little update on what they're finding, and then that kind of public notice portion of it that we could let everyone know who's in mid-city, hey, your building might be next to have an inspection. So those are my thoughts, just for staff for future reference.
Thank you. And I think there were, correct me if I'm wrong, staff, they posted flyers where you could request. Is that still, can you still make a request even if if they've moved on? Do you
Yes.
know? And can you just state for the public how, if somebody wants that inspection, how they would do that?
I know there are specific numbers just for it's called the Proactive Enforcement Program. But if they email code@weho.org, or they call their hotline, which is 323-848-6516, they can make that request that way.
Thank you.
Vice Chair, I have those numbers. It's the Neighborhood and Business Safety Division at 323-450-7115, 323-450-7115, or multifamilyinspections@weho.org. Again, multifamilyinspections@weho.org. And they can tell you where they're at or when they're coming to your neighborhood.
Thank you. Any other items from commissioners? Commissioner Copeland.
Okay, thank you, Chair. I wanted to echo the sentiments about best wishes and thank yous to Brandy. She was absolutely lovely to work with, and I wish her the absolute best. Anwar was an institution around here. I worked with him both as a tenant and as a commissioner and on a subcommittee, and he was very helpful, and he had his own dry sense of humor, which we've probably all been a part of at one time or another. Also, I would like to let everyone know that the city and the Women's Advisory Board is sponsoring a screening of Below the Belt, which is an endometriosis documentary film, and it's very informative. And that will be on October 30th, right here, 6:30 to 9. So there's a screening. It was produced by Hillary Clinton, Rosario Dawson, and some others. And after the screening, there will be a Q&A with medical experts from Cedars who actually have an endometriosis team. And this is something that there's someone you know that's going through this. And there are a lot of other things that they're discovering that are related to it. You know, everything from infertility, miscarriages, and perhaps ovarian cancers. There are a lot of things. So we encourage everyone to come out and view that and support our Women's Advisory Board and our residents, and also Cedars, especially for coming out here and helping us with that. And thank you, Vice Chair, for your job tonight. You did a wonderful job, and appreciate it. And thank you, staff, as always. Appreciate you. And that's it for me, I promise.
Okay, is that everybody? Any other? Yes, Commissioner Kerr,
One
please.
more, sorry. I just wanted to say that how sorry I am as well to hear about Anwar's passing. And then also on just an administrative note, I will not be here on November 13th. I won't be able to make that meeting.
Thank you.
I lied. There's one more
All right,
thing.
one more.
About Chair Roy's idea. I know that when they came to our building, there was a flyer that was posted and notices on the doors, and it said we would be doing an external inspection, and that anyone who would like their unit to be looked at inside to call this number. But there were, I know some other buildings that they didn't think they got that information. So I think it definitely would be great if we could do the updates and put that information out as he suggested. So thank you.
Okay, thank you. All right, if there are no other items, I want to thank my colleagues and thank you staff and council for supporting me in my leading my first meeting. You all were very so helpful, and even though there were a few curveballs, so I want to thank everybody. And I also want to mention, my family and I attended the Halloween event, the youth carnival, which is just so fantastic, and the city did a wonderful job again this year. So I just wanted to acknowledge that. And so with that, we are going to adjourn, and we are going to adjourn in memory of Anwar Zarkat, and he was our former colleague and a valued member of the WeHo family. He served for 23 years. He was very well loved by the community. And with that, we will adjourn to the next scheduled meeting of the Rent Stabilization Commission to be held on Thursday, November 13th, 2025 in West Hollywood Park Meeting Room, Council Chambers.
The Holloway Interim Housing Program is the city's next step in addressing homelessness. It'll provide 20 units of interim housing for community members who've been experiencing homelessness. The project will be operated by Essentia, which has been a longtime partner for the city, both in outreach and in the provision of interim housing.
The end game always is to get people into permanent housing. Well, we have been partnered with the City of West Hollywood since 2016, and we're really proud to continue that partnership with this vital interim housing program that will provide on-site services to community members in West Hollywood who are experiencing homelessness. Essentia offers real solution-driven programs, and what we do saves lives.
This is a great project for the city, and we hope that it actually serves as a model for other jurisdictions to help solve this very important and critical social issue. And the city is actually taking steps to move forward and address this situation.
The city's homeless initiative is truly a collaborative, multidisciplinary, multi-agency approach to addressing homelessness in West Hollywood. And while we might be small, 1.9 square miles, we have a significant investment from the city and our partners to addressing homelessness.
My name is Ruben Esparza. I'm an artist and curator. If you're really truly representing art and culture, I think it's important to invite people from all walks in the queer community.
For me, Pride is always about inspiration. It's about getting people to express themselves in a way that maybe they don't feel comfortable the other 364 days of the year. Just a place where they get to freely be who they are. That is pure inspiration.
Every age range you could imagine is here, and we're all here celebrating being ourselves in games and media and comics.
My name is Marvel Rex. The first time I ever did stand up was at the show that I created called Big Dad Energy. Because I was like, there's no trans masculine comedy shows that I'm aware of. So that's what I love about Big Dad Energy. All the guys are so brave and vulnerable and real.
I'm the world's worst mom, you know? And then when I transitioned, I started to realize I was actually like the world's best dad.
This is the iconic Sean Milan.
I am the icon Sean Milan. I've been in the house and ballroom scene probably since the early 90s. I and a couple of friends actually created the scene here in Los Angeles. The only reason why I do this work is so that people feel like they are seen, and then also that I remain to be seen.
To make the kid laugh,